guys, good morning. It's Vanessa here and welcome back to my channel. First thing in the morning, I always like to pull back my curtains and let the sun in and check on my little green tomatoes. We put them in the window and I've been told by some southern mamas I gotta fry them up. But not today, because today is food prep, you guys. I am so guilty of leaving fruit on my counter and then not letting anybody touch it until I clean it. And then I wait like 3 days. So today I am going to go ahead and prep all of my produce. I have some bacon that I'm going to cook up that we want to have in the fridge and some hamburger from Costco that I got to break down. So if that interests you, please stick around and keep watching. Here I am just filling my sink with some nice cold water and a good amount of vinegar. I know there's some controversy on whether or not you should use vinegar. Some people have told me to use dish soap. I guess it's just a personal preference, you guys. So I'm using vinegar. I don't find that it leaves a taste behind. I'm gonna go ahead and empty all of my apples. I have some celery and I also have some mini cucumbers that I got at Costco, and I'm gonna let these soak in there for a good 20 minutes. While those are soaking, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my bacon for the oven. Now, cooking your bacon in the oven, in my personal opinion, is the only way to go anymore. I used to do it on the stove top and I had my own method, but I'm telling you the last 4 times I have done it this way and it's perfect every time. I just lay it out so it's hardly overlapping. A tiny bit is okay, and I bake it in the oven at 400 degrees for anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. Stick it right in a cold oven, just like if you were cooking it in a pan. It just helps the fat render down a little bit better. Here I have 4 large Ziploc bags. I believe they're gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and we're gonna go ahead and separate our ground beef. All right, so this package of ground beef was from Costco and it was about 5.5 pounds. So I'm breaking it down into roughly 4 even parts. If you have a kitchen scale, by all means, you could weigh this out if you want to be more specific, but this is good enough for me, you guys. So I like to use Ziploc bags mainly because I can flatten out the ground beef and it's going to be a lot quicker when I want to thaw it out. Because if you guys are anything like me, I'm taking meat out at the last minute for supper, and it just makes my life that much easier when I know it'll be thawed out in just a few hours. And not to mention, it takes up a lot less space in your freezer when you have 4 neat little piles like this. I like to go ahead and prep my green onions separate from my fruits and vegetables that are in the sink right now, mainly because they're onions and I just have this thing in my head that they're going to taint all of my other vegetables. I like to soak them in my xoxo salad spinner. Thank you, Jen Chapin, for telling all of your subscribers to run out and get them, because I did it 6 months ago and I haven't looked back. All I'm doing is soaking these for about 10 minutes in about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then I'm going to spin them out to dry them a little bit extra with a piece of paper towel, and chop them up to put it on top of salads or ramen or any other dishes like baked potatoes that we might be having during the week. I like to have them cut and ready because I am more inclined to use them. Now, I do have another bunch in the fridge that I'm not chopping up because they will last a little bit longer that way, and I do want to stretch it out for a couple of weeks. I just have those wrapped up in a piece of damp paper towel inside a Ziploc bag, and they will last for quite a long time. Now I'm going to store these chopped ones in my Brilliance container here, and I'm going to show you guys. I got this whole kit at Costco. I want to say it was like $24.99. I love these. They have this rubber seal along the lid that when you push it down, it creates an airtight seal, and the little clips on the side, they're very easy to use. Now they are plastic, but the only glass ones that I found so far from Costco, well, quite frankly, were crap and didn't work well at all. These work awesome. I'm just going to stick a piece of paper towel to control the moisture a little bit, put them in there, and these are going to last probably about a week, week and a half. So one of the keys to making sure that your fruits and vegetables don't taste like vinegar is giving them a thorough rinse. Now you could fill this back up and soak them and then drain it and rinse. I just find running my my tap over it more than sufficient. Now, here is another container that I am a huge fan of, another Rubbermaid one, you guys. These are the Freshworks containers. These can get pricey, and I have accumulated them over time, but they come in so many different shapes. This long one here, and you can see has a little tray in the bottom, so I like to say it keeps everything out of its own juices, fits one of these bags of mini cucumbers perfectly. When it comes to celery in my house, the best way to store it has always been in water. The first thing I'm doing, these are just the celery sticks from Costco, and I'm chopping the ends off. Don't worry, I put them into a Ziploc bag and I use them for soup stock throughout the winter. Or my dogs also like to snack on these ends. I know, they're weirdos. All right. I like storing my celery in mason jars. Now this is a giant mason jar, so I can fit the entire stalk in there, which is what I love. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to stuff as many as I can, and then we're going to top it up with some ice cold water, and then you'll be able to squeeze in a few more. And then if I have any left, I usually put it into a smaller container, and the kids can snack on those first. The one thing I will say about this method is you should change your water out about every 3 days. It will start to get a little bit grimy looking, if that's the right word, but if there's one thing that you'll notice about celery is even if you have a bunch or stalk in your drawer that's starting to wilt, throw it in a container with a bunch of water. It will spring right back to life. So I like to leave my apples out on the counter. I just find that the kids are more inclined to grab them for a snack. And of course, I want to have them all washed so that they're safe to eat. So they are all dried up and ready for snacking. Watermelon. In my experience, prepping the entire thing is never good. I end up throwing a lot out. It just starts to get all slimy. So I like to wrap one half in saran wrap and leave it in the fridge. Just in my experience, it has lasted longer that way. I like to carve the watermelon, if you will, basically because I feel like I lose less of the flesh. You can see here, there's even probably going to be a little tinge of white on the outside. I don't mind that. You can be more particular if you'd like. I also find I lose less of the juice of the watermelon this way, and it's just easier overall to carve, and I really max out my return. And now I got this watermelon from Costco. If you guys didn't see my Costco haul and shop with me on Sunday where I take you through Costco and then show you everything I got, I was questioning whether or not it was going to be a good watermelon. Well, it was. It's super, super red, super ripe, and it was delicious and very sweet. Anyway, what you're seeing here is I'm kind of slicing it horizontally, vertically, and then into cubes. This is just how we like to eat it. We can serve it up on the side of our breakfast, on the side with supper, or the kids can grab it and throw it in a bowl and just munch on it like that. It is literally perfect. And again, I'm using another Freshworks container, especially this time where it has a tray lifting it off the bottom of the container. And the same with the celery. I had a little extra, so I just throw it in a bowl and we kind of snack on it the day that I'm doing my prep. It's a twofer. Look at Charlie, you guys, just waiting for that bacon to come out of the oven. Y'all know that him, Roxy, and MJ got a little snack. Look at this bacon. Oh my God, it's literally perfect, you guys. I'm telling you, if you haven't done this or you're hesitant, go ahead and try it. And if the grease is grossing you out, just do it on a cooling rack. I don't mind it this way. I think it's flavor, it's fine. I let it cool off on some paper towel to get the grease out, and then I break it up a little bit, and I'm just throwing it in a bigger size of that container that I put the onions in. I lined it with a paper towel just to soak up some of that extra grease in case there was any left. But ultimately, we're going to use these for BLTs and salads and probably some baked potatoes. Of course, I had to try a bite, make sure it's not poison. Tell me there's not a mom out there who hasn't used that line on their kids. Do you know what the best part about this food prep was, guys? It literally took me like 30 minutes. I am not about spending all day in the kitchen. Yes, I love to cook, and Lord knows I like to eat. But while the bacon was cooking, I was able to soak and prep everything. Super quick, you guys. It's about real life, what works for you, what's going to help you have a simpler week. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed filming it for you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Take care.